trading relationship with our North American partners that benefits everyone.
En
français, oui, oui, merci. Alors, un peu de perspective. Hier, les États-Unis ont annoncé l'intention d'avoir une autre mesure tarifaire dans 30 jours. C'est le plus récent dans une série des menaces tarifaires depuis 18 mois en contravention de l'ACM, les règles de l'ACM. Premier point. Deuxième point, depuis le commencement de cette guerre tarifaire, les Canadiens, d'une lotion à l'autre, se sont unis. Les gouvernements, les travailleurs, les syndicats, les commerces et surtout les Canadiens, afin de bâtir un pays, une économie plus forte, afin de soutenir nos travailleurs, nos agriculteurs, nos commerces, afin de diversifier nos partenariats à l'étranger. Maintenant, nous venons de conclure plus de une vingtaine d'accords d'économie sécuritaire à l'échelle du monde. Et nous avons une économie qui devient de plus en plus forte. La création, par exemple, d'emplois est 2 fois plus rapide qu'aux États-Unis. L'investissement étranger ici au Canada est 2 fois le moyen de G7. C'est le plus fort de G7, c'est le plus fort depuis 2 décennies. Alors, une économie plus forte, des partenariats plus diversifiés et en même temps, nous avons proposé plusieurs fois des initiatives, des propositions globales et détaillées afin de régler la situation dans l'ACM en reconnaissance l'objectif des États-Unis de changer, de transformer toutes leurs relations commerciales à l'échelle du monde, y compris le Canada et le Mexique. Je viens de discuter avec M. le Président des États-Unis ce matin et nous sommes d'accord d'intensifier nos négociations pendant les prochaines 2 semaines. Mais en tous les cas, le Canada fera tout ce qui est nécessaire de soutenir nos emplois, nos travailleurs, de soutenir nos agriculteurs, de soutenir les Canadiens et de rendre un Canada plus fort, plus indépendant et plus résilient. Merci beaucoup.
Prime Minister, are you considering retaliatory tariffs, dollar for dollar, on the U.S.?
We have a situation where the American tariffs, the 338 tariffs, will come into effect in 29 days. And we will look at all options in terms of how we would respond if they do come into effect. That's part of what we'll be discussing with premiers. Also, in parallel, as I just said, that I'd spoken with the President. We agreed to intensify discussions. We'll begin that right away. And this is part of a negotiation. So the first objective is to get a comprehensive agreement that benefits, obviously, both countries, that's consistent with CUSMA. CUSMA as it is and CUSMA as it will be, and we'll work towards that. But in parallel, when I say we will do whatever it takes and keep all options, obviously, it's a comprehensive point.
Monsieur, un nouveau voyage à Washington, est-ce que c'est dans les plans?
C'est pas absolument nécessaire d'avoir un voyage, c'est nécessaire d'avoir des conversations et les conversations de l'équipe commerciale, y compris M. Leblanc et puis Mme Charette. Ils sont les grands négociateurs et l'ambassadeur Wiseman avec leur homologue. Et oui, bien sûr, des conversations entre moi et M. Trump. Il y a des conversations assez souvent entre nous et on va continuer. Si sera utile d'avoir une réunion face à face, on va le faire.
Prime Minister, on the bridge, can you please clarify? Prime Minister, on the bridge, can you please clarify?
Prime Minister, were you caught off guard? You recently made concessions in regards to the Gordie Howe Bridge. You rolled back the Digital Services Tax, the Online Streaming Act. Are you going to make more concessions in order to get the Americans to the table?
We're at the table. We'll be having those more intense discussions. And what the issue has been for us has been a comprehensive agreement. We understand the U.S. approach to strategic sectors, what they call strategic sectors. They are strategic sectors, but under their definition, 232 definitions, that's aluminum, that's forest products, that's steel, that's automobiles, pharmaceuticals, copper, others. But those first four being the most important for the Canadian economy. And that we don't want a partial agreement, we want something that addresses those sectors as well, so that there's a viable approach going forward. In our view, and the view of Madame Sheinbaum and the Mexican authorities, there are solutions that evolve CUSMA so that those sectors are globally competitive to the benefit of workers. Of course, we're working for workers in Canada first and foremost, but also workers across the other two economies.
Last question.
Should the provinces put booze back on the shelves? Will that help with these negotiations?
It's part of a broader. The provinces individually took those decisions in response to a series of tariffs that were put in place, and also threats to our sovereignty. Those measures have been supported by provincial citizens, and they're supported, and it's indicative in terms of other consumption habits, if I can put it that way, of Canadians, where Canadians have traveled. Other things that are on the shelves but aren't being purchased. The decision to change that, first and foremost, will be taken by the provinces themselves, each individually, and should only be taken, in my judgment, as part of an overall agreement, and that's what we'll work to accomplish.
Thank you, everyone.
Did you mislead Canadians on the bridge deal? Did you mislead Canadians, sir?